Hi, this is Pete from EnerTeck, the makers of EnerBurn. Today we're going to talk about EnerBurn and the bulk tank dosing procedure. EnerBurn is a fuel-borne combustion accelerator. It works by conditioning the combustion chamber surfaces with a nanoscale catalytic coating that doubles the rate of the combustion of fuel molecules. This causes higher pressure earlier on the crank angle, which allows the engine to produce more work with the same amount of fuel. The increased work conversion results in a reduction of the exhaust temperature, which reduces NOx production. EnerBurn also lowers the burn temperature of carbon. This reduces the amount of soot in the exhaust, reducing DPF regens, and reducing contamination of the oil. Here are the key points of working with EnerBurn. Handle EnerBurn just as you would diesel fuel. Read and understand the EnerBurn MSDS. Wear proper PPE when working with EnerBurn, and clean up any spills promptly. Store your EnerBurn under cover from the elements. Daily heat-cool cycles can actually produce enough negative pressure inside the drum to draw water through tightly closed bungs or drum spigots. Protect your EnerBurn from extreme heat or cold prior to use. It should be stored between 32 degrees and 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Once EnerBurn is mixed with diesel fuel, there are no temperature limits. EnerBurn has a 20-year shelf life if properly stored as outlined above. EnerBurn mixes instantly and completely with diesel fuel. No mixing is required. Avoid splashing and spilling while dispensing. Use the closures on the transfer container when moving EnerBurn from the drum to the bulk tank. And be as accurate as you can when dosing fuel with EnerBurn. Use the closures on the transfer container when not in use to prevent contamination. And use the drum cradle to return the EnerBurn drum to the upright position when you're finished to avoid spills. The dosing ratio of EnerBurn is 1 to 2,500. This means that 1 gallon of EnerBurn will treat 2,500 gallons of diesel fuel. A handy tip: 1 ounce of EnerBurn will treat 20 gallons of fuel. There's also a simple equation. Take the amount of fuel in gallons divided by 20 gives you the ounces of EnerBurn required. But don't worry, we're going to give you tools to figure out the dose. EnerTeck is going to provide you with the tools you need to dose bulk tanks. These include a tilting drum cradle, a self-closing spigot, and a transfer container graduated in quarts and liters. Your tilting drum cradle comes in a flat pack and takes about 15 minutes to put together. The next step is to install the self-closing spigot in the 3/4 inch bung of the EnerBurn drum. The spigot even comes with the threads pre-wrapped with Teflon tape. You can turn the spigot a little past center to clear the handle on the tilting drum cradle. The transfer container is graduated in both quarts and liters. Depending upon the size of your average delivery, you may receive a 4-quart or 8-quart model. Another important tool is the dosing chart. It shows you how much EnerBurn to add per the amount of fuel added to the bulk tank. To calculate the amount of EnerBurn required, take a look at the fuel ticket and determine how much fuel was delivered. In this case, 7,458 gallons. Round that number up to the nearest 100 gallons, in this case 7,500 gallons, and locate that number on the dosing chart. Here you can see that you will need 3 gallons of EnerBurn or 11.4 liters of EnerBurn. We even have the EnerBurn dosing calculator. Download it by scanning the QR code on most of our products. It's even on the dosing chart. Don't forget to save it on your home screen so you don't have to scan the QR code every time. It's very simple to use. Just enter the amount of diesel fuel added to the tank, and the calculator figures out your dosage for you. When you're done, go ahead and hit the Save New Calculation button, which will clear the diesel fuel field, and record your result under previous calculations. For a demonstration, we're going to use a delivery of diesel fuel of 4,800 gallons. So we're going to go to our dosing chart, look up 4,800 gallons, and we see the required EnerBurn dose is 1 gallon and 118 ounces, or 7.3 liters. I find using liters makes this procedure easier. You can also use the EnerBurn dosing calculator app to figure out the dose. We're going to be using our 4-liter transfer container, so we're going to need to do 2 fills, 1 to 4 liters and 1 to 3.3 liters. A handy tip is use a grease pencil or a piece of tape to mark off the 1/10 of a liter position to help you be more accurate. Before we tip the drum, we're going to operate the valve to equalize the pressure. Carefully tilt the drum over with the tilting drum cradle. Stow the handle and place your transfer container under the spigot. I'm using a funnel here, but you could put a piece of hose in the end of the spigot if that suits your needs better. Put the lid on the transfer container to avoid spills, and take your EnerBurn over to the bulk tank and pour it directly into the diesel fuel. Now we'll dispense our 3.3 liters. Again, put the cap on the transfer container and pour the EnerBurn directly into the diesel fuel. When you've completed dispensing, use tilting drum cradle to stand the barrel upright again. And of course, no job is done until the paperwork is finished, so fill out the bulk tank record with the date and time, diesel added to the tank, gallons and ounces or liters of EnerBurn added, and your name. Thanks for watching our video. We hope that it's provided you with the information you need to successfully dose your bulk tanks with EnerBurn. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to contact me with the information on the bottom of your screen. Thank you.